And we are now less than 1 month away from the NFL draft, and I feel like every week heading into our mock drafts, we're having to adjust to these major deals going down in the NFL. Amanda Garrett, Brady Quinn, we have Danny Cannell, and the guy behind the mock drafts, Ryan Wilson here. Let's start at the top, guys. Aiden Hutchinson to the Jags, Brady.
I mean, Ryan, is this ever going to change, or are we just sticking with Aiden Hutchinson? You do about 40,000 of these. I'm hoping at one point we switch it up a little bit. Maybe someone trades up to take a quarterback. Can we play out that scenario, or are you just afraid of people on social media and online giving you a hard time about putting out some of those scenarios? I mean, you've done enough of these. Can we get something else to talk about every single week for these mock drafts, Ryan?
Hey, listen, you got to blame Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson because from January 31st until last week, I had them taking an offensive lineman. So I blame Doug, I blame Trent because it was Aiden Hutchinson for the longest time, and it does feel like Groundhog Day, I'm with you. And then for a 4 or 5 week stretch, we had a little break there with Ike Ekwonu and maybe even an Evan Neal in there, but we're back to Aiden Hutchinson. Look, I am afraid of social media, I'll be honest with you, so I'm not going to have someone trade for a quarterback. But I would like to see the scenario where someone moves up, and I want to know what they're moving up for because Aiden Hutchinson feels like the cleanest prospect in this class, and that seems pretty clear as we're at this point in the process. But again, you could talk me into perhaps an offensive lineman for the Jaguars because even though they signed Brandon Scherf, even though they re-upped Cam Robinson, you could never have enough protection for a young quarterback who took so many hits last year.
Yeah, I think this feels to me like the safe pick for Jacksonville. The offensive linemen that we've discussed, whether it was Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu, who we're going to get to in a little bit, it feels like there's not as much consensus. But with Kayvon Thibodeau dropping off, it seems like Aiden Hutchinson just filled that gap. So, and it's not, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's one of those things where most people agree he's the best pass rusher available in this draft. Comes from a good family, works hard, has a high motor. And as much as we talk about did he tap out there, I still think there's a pretty good base to work with. So I think this is a pretty good, safe pick for Jacksonville to make if they do indeed end up going with Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean, look what they've done this offseason so far. They're basically trying to, turn over this roster as fast as possible. They've done that via trades, free agent signings, all of that. And then trying to fill this roster with what they believe to be good players. Aiden Hutchinson is a player at the next level who's going to be able to be an immediate impact player, a starter right away, who's going to force the football out of the hands of all those other quarterbacks within the division. So it makes a lot of sense. Ryan, I'm joking with you right now only because we have to do this so often, and from time to time, it does get a little boring.
And I mean, Chris and I split it up. You're up here for a whole hour. Oh my gosh, Brady. I will say we do have trades in this one. I meant to mention that at the top. So that is exciting because there's a good one coming up. All right, let's. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.